the Japanese entertainment scene is once again shaken by a name that refuses to fade from the spotlight. Gleam of BTS. The global phenomenon known as the V effect has reached a new historic milestone in the land of the rising sun. As both a work singer and a fashion icon, V has officially secured the No. 1 position for an astonishing 259 consecutive weeks, nearly 5 full years on a major Japanese platform, a record that few, if any, artists have ever come close to achieving. But the question remains, is this extraordinary achievement merely a digital statistic? Or does it truly reflect the overwhelming power of V's fandom in Japan? Has this dominance translated into real impact through magazine sales and fashion influence? Did magazines featuring V once again sell out completely, sparking surges in demand and visible excitement across major Japanese cities? Today, Taikook Update dives deep into the truth behind this record-breaking phenomenon. V's growing influence in Japan's entertainment industry, the purchasing power of his fandom, and how a single name continues to dominate charts, trends, and consumer markets simultaneously. Is this just the beginning of an even greater era for V, or has he already secured legendary status in the heart of Japan? The unstoppable V effect in Japan. How BTS's V dominated the Sakura nation for 2 weeks and redefined fandom power for nearly half a decade. One name has echoed relentlessly across Japan's entertainment industry, fashion market, and digital platforms. V 5 BTS, known globally as a singer with unmatched emotional depth and a fashion icon whose presence alone can dictate trends, V has now achieved what many consider an untouchable milestone. The phenomenon known as the V has reached historic proportions in the land of the rising sun, with V officially holding the No. 1 position for 259 consecutive weeks, almost 5 years without interruption on a major Japanese platform. In an industry defined by rapid turnover, shifting tastes, and intense competition, such consistency borders on the impossible. Artists rise and fall, trends change with seasons, and public attention moves swiftly. Yet V has remained immovable at the top, raising one critical question that now dominates discussions among media analysts, cultural observers, and fans alike. Is this record merely the result of online popularity, or is it proof of a deeper, unstoppable fandom force in Japan? A record that defies industry logic. To understand the magnitude of 259 consecutive weeks at No. 1, one must first understand the Japanese entertainment ecosystem. Japan is famously selective. Unlike markets driven solely by global virality, Japanese audiences value longevity, credibility, and cultural resonance. Maintaining relevance for even a year is an achievement. 2 years is rare. 5 years is virtually unheard of. Yet V did not merely remain relevant, he dominated week after week, year after year. His name remained fixed at the summit of the rankings. New artists debuted, established stars released albums, and global acts entered the market. But none managed to dislodge him. Industry insiders quietly began referring to this phenomenon not as popularity, but as cultural occupation. The V effect was no longer a buzzword, had become a measurable force. Beyond music, V, as a cultural symbol in Japan, unlike traditional chart leaders, V's dominance in Japan cannot be attributed to music releases alone. In fact, there were periods where he released no solo Japanese music at all, yet his ranking never wavered. This led analysts to look elsewhere, and what they found revealed the true depth of his influence. V had transcended the role of an idol. In Japan, he was increasingly viewed as a fashion authority, a visual and artistic muse, a symbol of emotional storytelling, a global figure with local resonance. Japanese media began to describe him using terms typically reserved for actors, designers, or cultural icons rather than pop stars. He appeared in conversations about aesthetics, masculinity, and modern elegance topics deeply embedded in Japanese cultural discourse. The magazine phenomenon. Proof beyond numbers. If digital charts raised questions, magazine sales answered them. Whenever a Japanese magazine announced V as its cover star, whether fashion, lifestyle, or culture focused, the reaction was immediate and explosive. Pre-orders surged within hours. Retailers reported shortages. Online listings sold out almost instantly. In several documented cases, magazines featuring V sold out nationwide within days, required emergency reprints, experienced record-breaking online traffic, appeared on resale platforms at inflated prices. Bookstores in Tokyo, Osaka, and Fukuoka reported fans lining up early in the morning. Some stores implemented purchase limits per customer, an unusual measure in Japan's typically orderly retail environment. This was not speculative fandom behavior. This was economic impact. Fandom power, organized, loyal, and relentless. At the center of this phenomenon lies V's Japanese fandom group, often described by local media as one of the most organized and loyal fan bases in the country. Unlike casual listeners, this fandom operates with long-term dedication. Fans actively support magazine sales, brand collaborations, exhibition events, cultural features, digital rankings, and polls. What distinguishes them is consistency. While many fandoms mobilize during comeback periods, these fans maintained engagement, yet this explains how his rankings remained stable even during quiet periods. A Japanese media analyst summarized it succinctly. V's fandom does not spike. It sustains. Fashion as a language. Why Japan responds to V. Japan's fashion culture values subtlety, storytelling, and individuality, qualities that align seamlessly with V's image. His style is not loud or trend-chasing. Instead, it is expressive, nostalgic, and artistic. From tailored suits to vintage-inspired looks, these fashion choices resonate deeply with Japanese aesthetics. Designers and stylists have openly cited him as a reference point, while fashion students analyze his editorials as case studies. When V appears in a magazine, it is rarely just a photo shoot. It is treated as a visual narrative. This approach has elevated his status from brand ambassador to muse, a role highly revered in Japanese creative circles. Media, silence, and strategic mystery. Another key factor in sustaining the V effect is controlled visibility. Unlike artists who saturate media channels, V's appearances are selective. Each magazine, feature, interview, or public sighting feels intentional and rare. This scarcity fuels anticipation. Japanese media outlets often publish speculative articles asking when V will appear next, which brand he might collaborate with, or which magazine is negotiating an exclusive feature. This constant sense of mystery keeps public interest alive without 5 years at the top. Coincidence or cultural shift? The question now being asked is no longer whether V is popular in Japan. That debate ended long ago. The real question is whether his dominance represents a permanent shift in how global artists are embraced in Japan. Inside Japan's media industry, why editors compete for V behind the scenes of Japan's tightly curated magazine industry. One truth has become increasingly impossible to ignore. Any issue featuring V guarantees attention. Editors-in-chief, creative directors, and marketing teams quietly acknowledge that securing V for a cover is no longer just a creative strategic move that can determine a publication's annual performance. Several insiders from Japanese publishing houses have hinted that negotiations involving V are handled with extraordinary discretion. Contracts are confidential, schedules are protected, and announcements are often delayed until the last possible moment. This secrecy is intentional. The moment V's name is confirmed, pre-orders surge. server strain, and competitors take notice. For magazines struggling to survive in the digital era, V represents something rare: certainty. The sellout pattern, a repeating phenomenon, data collected from multiple magazine releases over the past several years, reveals a striking pattern. Whenever V appears on a Japanese cover, initial print runs sell out faster than projected. Digital editions experience traffic spikes within hours. Reprints are requested at rates exceeding industry norms. International orders from overseas fans increase sharply. This pattern has repeated so consistently that some retailers now preemptively increase stock when rumors of V involvement surface. Yet even these precautions often prove insufficient. One Tokyo bookstore manager described the phenomenon bluntly: "We prepare, but it's never enough. When V is on the cover, demand behaves differently." More than fans, a multi-generational audience. Another factor contributing to the longevity of the V is the diversity of his Japanese audience. Unlike many idols whose fan bases skew younger, V's appeal spans generations. Teenagers admire his artistry and visuals. Young adults connect with his emotional expression. Older readers appreciate his elegance, restraint, and classic style. This cross-generational resonance is rare and highly valued in Japan. It allows V to exist simultaneously in youth culture and mature lifestyles, achievement few global artists manage. As a result, magazines featuring V are not confined to idol fandom shelves. They appear in fashion sections, art corners, and cultural commentary displays. The quiet role of Jungkook and Taekook interest, while the spotlight remains firmly on V. Taekook-related curiosity continues to operate
Japanese
subtly
fans
in the
have
background.
long
shown fascination with the dynamic between V and Jungkook, not as tabloid gossip, but as a narrative of artistic chemistry and emotional balance.